Edward Snowden, an American whistleblower who worked as a Central Intelligence Agency employee and subcontractor for the United States National Security Agency, leaked documents highlighting the scale of information gathered and the tactics used to influence outcomes. In recent years, Edward Snowden has opened up about some of the things that are happening that everyday people aren't aware of. One of the most recent things he came out with was that the government wasn't being honest about the object that had been taken out by jets. Edward Snowden said the following on social media: "It's not aliens. I wish it were aliens, but it's not aliens. It's just the engineered panic, an attractive nuisance ensuring reporters get assigned to investigate balloon stuff rather than budgets or bombings. All of this talk about mysterious aircrafts is just a distraction, and it's causing people to look the other way instead of asking the right questions." Journalists have said that one event that isn't being covered by the mainstream media is that of the Nord Stream and what involvement the United States had in this. In recent years, Edward Snowden has opened up about some of the things that are happening that everyday people are not aware of. One of the most recent things he came out with was that governments have reduced our dignity to that of tagged animals and said that they pretty much control every part of your life. Edward Snowden was able to smuggle highly classified files out of a National Security Agency facility. The FBI would soon label him as dishonest and someone who may have been acting as an agent, suggesting that he could have had ties with China or Russia. One person said the following about the mysterious aircrafts: "It seems like certain events like this come out of nowhere, and I agree that it does come across as a distraction. The sad thing is it does seem to work, and many topics that should be covered by the media seem to get buried. It's a sad tactic, but when you open your eyes, it's easy to spot when they are doing it." As of right now, there's still some confusion over what these aircrafts are and what they were doing over national airspace. North American Aerospace Defense Command have come forward and said that they've recorded 3 more mysterious aircrafts, 2 of which were taken down by the US military in national airspace, while another one was taken out over Canadian territory. Former military workers have made an interesting connection between these aircrafts and the ones that were captured by pilots back in 2004. It's reported that the pilot who intercepted these aircrafts said they didn't match conventional aircrafts and said they couldn't see any wings and that they didn't have a visible propulsion system. Oddly enough, this isn't the first time that we've heard this, and in recent years, pilots have been coming forward with their encounters, further backing up the reports that these mysterious aircrafts don't match anything that they've seen before, and this has caused some officials to question where these things are coming from. Even government officials are now coming forward and talking about these mysterious balloons. The White House has been making statements and have now admitted that the spy balloon probably wasn't a spy balloon. Something that people have noticed is that the news surrounding this topic is all over the place, and it's making it hard to come to a conclusion about what it was that the pilot intercepted. One person said the following: "I think they are doing this on purpose in order to muddy the waters as much as possible, because as many people have said, it's hard to know what's actually happening right now, as we are hearing different reports every other day. When this happens, it causes confusion, and it just means that it becomes more difficult to find out what was actually encountered." For example, a national security spokesperson has said that we should stop calling them Chinese balloons, but in the next sentence pointed out that the Chinese have been observed doing this sort of thing. It's led some to say that the reporting of this event is a mess, and that it's hard to follow what's really happening. To add even more confusion, the White House admitted that officials might never be able to identify the 3 mystery objects, saying that no one has come forward to claim that they were responsible for the object and that they were taken out over inaccessible terrain, which makes recovery and identification extremely difficult. White House National Security spokesman John Kirby said the following: "We would like nothing better, but I can't sit here and promise you that we'll get to that level of fidelity of detail. We just can't confirm those reports or what the remains of that balloon might actually end up being, and then we haven't recovered it. So it's very difficult, and until you can get your hands on something, it's hard to tell what it is." Something that people have noticed is that some of the reports don't seem to add up. On one hand, you have pilots saying that these aircrafts didn't have wings, while others have said that the mysterious objects could have been $12 balloons, causing some to say that President Joe Biden may have overreacted. It's been reported that the missile that took out the balloon cost over $400,000, and some have speculated that this is the reason why we are not being told the truth, because these objects may turn out to be $12 balloons. which led online users to say that if this is the case, then there's going to be a lot of angry people. Something else that insiders have revealed is that these aircrafts are very much real and noted that they pose a real threat. Military insiders have said these unknown aircrafts seem to be interested in our missiles and also other highly sensitive areas not accessible by the general public. These unidentified crafts seem to be able to make their way into secure airspace without being detected and then suddenly disappear before military planes can get in and investigate. Back in 1964, a former US Air Force worker by the name of Robert Jacobs was in charge of photo instruments. His mission was to film an Atlas rocket during its flight. As soon as the rocket lifted off, he started his camera. He said he could see all 3 stages of the rocket, and after the flight was finished, he took the cans of film and got them developed. He was then ordered to go to the office of one of the majors. There he was told to sit down and listen carefully to what they were about to say. One of the high-ranking officials in the room turned on the film projector and showed him the launch. As the Atlas missile entered the frame, he was told that it was traveling between 11 and 14,000 miles per hour. However, the camera then picked up a strange aircraft in the shape of a saucer. Robert Jacobs said the following about the incident. It flew into the frame and shot a beam of light at the warhead. Remember, all this stuff is flying at thousands of miles an hour. This thing fires a beam of light at the warhead, hits it, fires another beam of light, and then flies out the way it came in. The warhead then tumbles out of space. When the lights came on, Major Management said, "Were you guys messing around up there?" And I said no. After the video was shown to Robert Jacobs, high-up officials told him to never speak of this again. Robert Jacobs then went on live television to detail what he had seen and was open about the fact that these crafts are extremely advanced. In the modern day, sightings of unidentified objects have become all too synonymous with science fiction. Amateur researchers are quick to talk about large metallic flying saucers and mechanical contraptions that could possibly be made with knowledge of advanced metals and specialized compounds. However, there appears to be a large number of sightings of impossible-to-explain aircraft that tend not to fit the common designs reported by eyewitness reports of typical craft and seem to feature otherworldly phenomena. These have become known as ghost rockets. As surprising as it might be to uncover, the countries with the highest number of reports surrounding unidentified objects during the early 1940s was not that of the United States, but rather were the Scandinavian countries of Sweden, Denmark, and Norway. According to a large number of eyewitness sightings of the unidentified aircraft across the 3 countries, there was an alarming number of consistent reports made of silent hovering objects that were described by onlookers and local residents as ghost rockets. The ghost rockets were often detailed as appearing to be large cigar-shaped, rocket-shaped, or blimp-shaped aircraft that demonstrated abilities impossible for known aircraft to have accomplished at the time and appearing to be similar in texture to a ghostly apparition. Detailed in the vast majority of witness reports, the rockets were known for appearing out of nowhere, suddenly within the blink of an eye, and disappearing just as quickly, vanishing into thin air, or shooting off at incredibly violent speeds, impossible to replicate with any known technology at the time. A few of the ghost rocket apparitions were described as being larger than 60 meters in length, with other sightings described as appearing to have the physical characteristics of ghostly apparitions, with recounted stories emphasizing that the aircraft appeared to glow colors, while demonstrating incredible violations of the basic laws of physics. According to the gathered data surrounding the countless ghost rocket reports throughout the late 1930s and the early 1940s, by February 26th of 1946, it's believed that more than 2,000 individual and consistent sightings had been documented across the 3 countries, with the inclusion of more than 200 of these sightings later verified by gathered radar intelligence from the surrounding military bases. Although skeptic explanations for the sightings claimed that ghost rockets were nothing more than common meteor showers that are known for occurring during specific months of the year. The majority of the peaks in sightings of ghost rockets were made during times that did not coincide with known meteor shower events and seemed to be sporadic and uncharacteristic of any past known meteoric behaviors. Those who witnessed these strange objects would go on to say they demonstrated abilities to maneuver, react, and change trajectories entirely. In contrast to skeptic claims and scientific dismissals, the Swedish military believed that the ghost rockets were not caused by natural phenomena and were instead a tremendous threat to the national security of their country and their surrounding Scandinavian allies. Several military reports that would later be revealed by the Swedish government claimed that the prevailing theory among military officials at the time was that the Ghost rockets could have been an experimental craft created by captured German missiles, which were being launched from a nearby German rocket facility. Researchers believe, however, that the declassified Swedish military documents were nothing more than an attempt at the Scandinavian governments to cover up the tremendous amount of intelligence gathered on the Ghost rockets, and would eventually lead to further cover-up attempts under the guise of a national security threat. So, what do you make of these interesting sightings? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comment section below, and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.